Hi, everyone. My name is Farah from Become Mindfulness Consulting, and I'm joined with my good friend Caroline. And welcome to our Mindfulness Webinar. So here's the agenda for today. We're actually going to be going through explaining a little bit about what mindfulness and meditation is. And then we're going to be taking you through this really exciting program that we've been building called the Inner Workings of Mindfulness. And then we're actually going to go into a really cool concept called the power of loving all of who you are. And we'll also be taking you through a guided meditation. And at the very end, if you do want to contact us, we're going to be providing you with our contact information. So just a little bit about myself. I'm Farah. I'm the founder of BCOM. And prior to starting BCOM, I actually used to work in the corporate world. So I started my career at Pepsi and then later went on to a company called Maple Leaf Foods in sales and account management. And I had a huge burnout back in 2016, which actually led me to taking some time off to travel the world. And while I was traveling the world, I happened to stumble upon a lot of different opportunities to learn about mindfulness and meditation. And so what led to then happening is me moving to Bali and actually learning from some spiritual healers out there and living out there for a bit. And finally, in 2018, I decided to move back home, and Vancouver is home for me. And I decided to start Be Calm. And Be Calm is a mindfulness consulting agency that specializes in stress and anxiety management and integrating mindfulness in the workplace. So we do a lot of webinars and workshops. Prior to COVID, those were in person. We also do one-on-one coaching, and we also do long-term mindfulness implementation plans. And just a cool fact about me, I actually have lived in 5 countries since birth. And yeah, it's taught me a lot, and it's been truly humbling to actually be able to travel as much as I have. And, I do embrace mindfulness daily and try to live life as wholeheartedly as possible. That's why I travel so much. That's a big part of freedom. It's a big part of my core values. So I'm now going to pass it on to my good friend Caroline, who's going to be sharing more about herself.
Hi, I'm Caroline Croft, and my background is I'm a supply chain executive. I working in manufacturing in the telecommunications sectors across my many decades of my career. But I'm not really here to talk about that part of myself. I am actually a high school dropout who is also what I love to say a lifelong learner. I've had a troubled youth and had that great experience of getting over that, and and then ended up at some point really. Farah likes to say people tend to come to this work through the 3 Ds of death, disease, or divorce, and in my case it was divorce. So back in the 90s, the mid 90s, I got involved with this type of work. And to be honest with you, it was very much on the fringe at the time. Nothing's pleased me more than to see that it has come more mainstream. And at that time, I ended up getting involved with a group that was using what we call conscious energy breath work, and we'll learn a little bit more about that as we go through the rest of the video here. But mainly, it really helped me gain necessary insights into what I needed to understand, and it really helped me release the stress and the tension and pent up emotions that I was feeling at that time as I was dealing with, the breakup of my marriage and keeping my family as intact as possible. So I really turned to this work over, again, a couple of decades, and it's done nothing but bring me great rewards in my personal and professional life. So I always attribute my success to how I've invested in myself, and right up to only just recently, a few years ago, did end up getting going to university and getting my master's in business administration. So I'll pass this back over to Farah to walk us through about what is mindfulness.
Thank you, Caroline. And I just want to add my 3Ds. Mine for me
All right.
was death. So my dad passed away in my 20s, and that kind of was a big life changer for me and kind of also what led me to my work. So, and then, so yeah, what is mindfulness? You might be wondering, and some of you might be aware, and some of you might be practicing this. I'm curious, wherever you are, I would love for you to comment below if you feel to. So mindfulness is a practice of being present in the current moment while being aware of our thoughts and our emotions in this moment. And meditation is the practice that helps us to reach this level of self-awareness. That's what meditation really is. So I'm sure you've heard a lot of, you have this perception, I did prior to meditating myself, of what I thought meditation was. I thought it was, you having to sit on the ground, hold an incense stick in front of you, and you don't, all your thoughts go away magically when you sit still. No, that is not the case. I can tell you right now. And I mean, both Caroline and I have been doing a lot of this work for many, many years now. And I can tell you this, when you're sitting down to meditate, there will be times where your thoughts will come up, and that's completely normal. It's completely okay.
Mhm.
And actually we're just going to go to the next slide here. I'm going to teach you a little bit more about what meditation really is. So
Well, I will interject just for a minute. The thing that I love, Farah, about your approach of meditation is there's no such thing as doing it wrong. And I just love that piece. So I just wanted to make sure that got said before you go any further.
thank you so much. And there is no right or wrong way to meditate. I just want to make that clear. You're going to find what works for you. There's many different ways of meditating out there. But I say a good place to start is, just starting off from breathing in through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Finding a comfortable position. So this could be even just sitting in your chair with your back upright. This could be laying on your bed right before you go to sleep, just being conscious of your breath. And a good place to start is just by closing your eyes and scanning your body, right? And seeing how you're feeling in that moment. And again, if your mind does wander, like I mentioned, that's completely okay. And in that moment, all you need to do is just acknowledge your thought and then come back to your breath. And a good time to start is, I always say, a couple of minutes each day. And then, as you feel good about that, in a couple of weeks, you can move to maybe 10 minutes. And then, in a month, maybe move to 30 minutes. Again, just find something that works for you, because any amount of silence is powerful. And so now we're actually going to try to do this together. And I'm going to try to share some music here. Oh yeah, I feel like I believe I'm going to have to get you to
Oh, okay, okay.
yeah,
Got it.
sorry.
Hang on. What do I do here? Yes.
Thank you. Okay, that's not working, so we're just gonna do it without the music maybe for
Maybe
today.
I think I need to stop
Oh,
sharing.
there you go.
There
There
you
you go.
go. There we go. Okay.
Okay. Sorry about that. We're just gonna play some music here. So I want you to just get comfortable and start off by closing your eyes.
Hmm.
Again, you can be sitting on your seat, you can be sitting on the ground with your legs folded, or you can be laying down in your bed. And we're going to just start off by taking a couple of deep breaths in. So we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale through the mouth. I'm going to take another deep breath in through the nose and exhale through the mouth. With this last breath, I just want you to release any tension you're feeling in your shoulders or your back with that last exhale out. So we're going to inhale through the nose and let go of any tension as you exhale out. I want you to just continue to focus on your breath. Continue to inhale and exhale at a natural rhythm that feels right to you. And if you do have thoughts coming up, just acknowledge them and come back to your breath. All we have to do in each moment is just breathe. So whenever things get to be too much, just come back to your breath. If you feel any tension in your body, I just want you to observe that tension and maybe breathe in, visualizing a bright white light into that area. And as you exhale out, let that tension go. When you feel ready, I want you to slowly start opening your eyes and bringing your attention back to the present moment. Just take a second to look around. Just wiggle your hands and your toes to bring your presence back to the present moment. How did that feel? I can imagine.
I just, you take me places. What can I say? I feel very, very relaxed. It's amazing how calm one can feel by just breathing.
Yeah, and just a couple of minutes too.
Yes, it is. That was, yeah, it was only a couple of minutes, which is the point. I think that, if there's something that I would impart with people from my own experience is that great if this takes you and you can do this for 30 minutes a day every day. I think that's absolutely awesome. But if you can even do it for just that short period of time that we did, it makes a difference. You do that at the beginning of a day, and you've got, as you go through the day and you deal with life stressors, you can quickly anchor back into that moment of feeling so calm in the morning when you've done your 5 minutes even of deep breathing. So
So very true. And all it takes is a couple of minutes, and we sometimes forget that.
yes, yes, absolutely. It doesn't need to be more complicated than that. I'll come back to our meditation. I think. Hang on now. Can I share?
Yeah.
Stay with us, folks.
And while we're trying to do that, like I said, I'd love for you to share below in the comments section how that experience was for you. And we are going to do a longer guided meditation later in the program as well.
Exactly. Thank you. So we wanted to now get into the section of, really what makes our program of the Inner Workings of Mindfulness, what makes that program unique. There's and what might draw you and the uniqueness into taking our program. The first thing is, I mentioned before, is the conscious energy breathing technique. So we will definitely introduce you to that. It's really meant, as I mentioned before, to gain personal insight, hear messages from our higher selves. You know, we talk about that quiet voice within all of us, and sometimes it's just a little too quiet and we can't hear it. And so, my experience has been using this technique really amplifies that voice and releasing emotions, pent up tension, stress, and emotions from our body. Again, the theory goes we do store emotions in our body. And so this allows us to release that tension and really at the end of it all is to build a more resilient peaceful frame of mind, and that's where it's really ties in closely with mindfulness. Again, when I first got involved with this, I was in a very challenging time, and I felt like I was walking around with this huge burden of all these emotions that could get set off in any moment, and which only led, once it got set off, it only led to more emotion at the end of it, you know. And I was just felt so weighted down by all of this. And so this, again, conscious energy breathing technique just helped me feel lighter, move through although that heavy burden of all these emotions. So that's the first thing that would make this program unique. The second thing, and this is really important as well, is we have purposefully grounded our entire program into the objective of loving all of who we are, even our pointy bits. And again, that's much easier said than done. And we're going to do a little bit of an exercise after we walk you through the program, as to, you know, what you can take away even from watching this video on moving yourself forward toward this goal. And the last thing, not as important as the first two, Farah and I have a very rich background working in a corporate environment, that tends to be the folks that are, you know, we do attract to the program. So if that is the case for you, you can, you know, be assured that we do understand your day-to-day environment, and especially the working from home environment that now has occurred because of COVID. So we understand those stressors as well, and would you know, here to support you through that with our own context of understanding. So over to you, Far, if you want to walk us through the components on this slide. Thanks.
Thanks, Caroline. So as honestly, so first of all, I just want to say we put our heart and soul into this program. You know, we both have done a lot of work in the arena of mindfulness, you know, just ourselves as individuals working on ourselves, but also helping other people. So we really built this program with the intention of putting in here, you know, what we have done and what we saw worked for us. And we also took into account things that we hoped had been there when we were going through our process of self-discovery and awareness, but we never saw existed. So we took both of these things into account when we were building this. And you know, so as mentioned, it is an 8-week program. And the reason for this was we felt like this was a good amount of time. If you're, you know, wanting to grow or change, usually within 8 weeks, you will see a change in yourself. So we are doing 6 live classes, and they're going to be delivered from October 8 to November 19. And there is also one weekend workshop on November 7th as well. And then we're doing 2 mentoring sessions, one 30-minute conversation with either Caroline or myself. And then we're also doing an additional bonus where we're going to be introducing this concept of an accountability buddy. And so there's going to be a 2-on-2 conversation with you and your accountability buddy. And just to get into explaining the idea behind the accountability buddy, just from, you know, like I mentioned, the work that we have done, even in our own partnership, It's
Yes.
beautiful because we have noticed oftentimes that, you know, if one person's feeling a certain way, it's usually the other person's feeling the exact same way. And so it's very powerful when we share with each other what we're realizing and what we're learning. We grow even more. And that's also the reason why we also have the peer and group support as well, because, you know, again, we encourage you to ask questions and find answers not only within yourself but through the stories of other people as well. So there will be an opportunity to participate in the Facebook private community page, Be Calm Circle, and again in our weekly classes and workshop as well. And then we are also going to be providing some pre-course work that we're going to be sending out every week on a Friday via email. And this is just going to help you prepare better for those weekly classes. And it's just also help you to do some of that deeper self-awareness work as well.
Thank you.
If there's anything, Caroline, you want to add? That
No, I don't think so. I mean, we've this personal workbook or journal. Again, you'll receive, just to recap, basically what Farah is saying. You'll receive this a weekly email with your pre-work instructions for that upcoming class. It's going to mainly include watching some videos. A lot of TED Talks are great. We've done a lot of research in finding the right talk that fits our message, fits our values, and is appropriate for that week's lesson. So we've done that work. The workbook itself, you will receive again on a weekly basis. Really highlight certain points and are going to ask you questions, and really meant to stimulate that self-reflection that Farah was talking about. And again, all relevant to our weekly topics. And then we would ask that you definitely share your thoughts. I think this community page is going to be a really important part of the program, because again, outside of our weekly class, you know, you'll at any time on your own time, you be able to watch these videos, reflect a little bit, see how it's resonating with the other folks in the class, and then write your thoughts. You know, look at their thoughts, respond to theirs, write your own. And so Farah and I will be popping in into the community page throughout the week, and maybe even asking other questions to stimulate further conversation. So to just go into a little bit more detail now, I'm actually going to take us over into the Eventbrite. This is where you would, our Eventbrite page. This is where you would register for the course. So what I'd like to say is, again, the course is really broken out into three sections. So I'm just going to scroll down. And there's lots more information in here. So certainly you can click into this and read it yourself as well. So I'm just going to give you a little bit of an overview. So in the first part, what we'll be doing is we're going to cover key concepts of meditation and mindfulness. We're going to explain and explore a lot about how our brains work. There is tons of really good information out there around the neuroscience and how it has proven out the benefits of meditation and mindfulness, both from a physical and a mental benefits, mental health, physical health benefits. And what we're really going to be doing by at the end of part one is we will be also looking at the concept and seeking to understand the multiple identities that we have within ourselves, and really with the goal and the aim to integrate all of them into one. And so, example, we have our authentic self. We have what some people call the ego self, or in other cases, the higher self. So there's a bunch of these different identities that we'll explore together and move towards that realization that the more integrated we are of all of our parts, the more authentic we are, the more at peace we are, the more at peace our mind is. So part two really serves as a transition from exploring our minds into exploring our hearts. because you will quickly learn that mindfulness is not just about your thoughts. It is really just as much about your emotions as it is your thoughts. We create memories in our brain. It's one of the special parts about our brain is that we do create memories and we attach emotions to those memories. So if we are anything to do with our mind, meditation, mindfulness, you're not going to escape the necessity of to deal with your emotions as well. So this is, again, I think the part that might make us unique in a mindfulness class is that we are dedicating this third section to to understanding our emotions, and really it starts in this part two in the transition. So as Farah mentioned, we will do, you'll receive a one-on-one with either Farah or myself. And then where we're really going to sort of pivot the program is really in a workshop. So there's what we're calling a Power of Partnership workshop. It will be a Saturday afternoon. It's the only Saturday that we'll be getting together and gathering. But this is a real, like I say, it's a pivotal point in the program, and we felt that we needed more time. So that's why we're doing a workshop. So in that workshop, what we intend to do is really cover the importance of relationships slash partnerships. I say every relationship is a partnership. And how,
Agree.
yeah, and really how every relationship slash partnership can act as a, what I call, a highly valuable shortcut into our own self-reflection. So we will cover that and cover what I mean by that. We'll introduce the conscious energy breathing at this point. And we will assign you your accountability buddy. So this is going to be someone within the program that you will have a weekly touch point with, if not more than one, at least one, for the duration of the program, and where you will give and receive support through that accountability buddy relationship. So then moving into part three really allows us to focus on this emotional side and identifying our present feelings. We want to really understand how our emotional well-being impacts our ability to actualize all of our authentic self. Okay, so our emotions, sometimes when we are reacting, again, it comes back to the brain and the feelings, that get um, triggered by a particular thought or an present experience that might be similar to a past experience. Something triggers within us and boom, we're off to the races as far as our emotions can go. Not always, but sometimes, and I'm sure everyone's had that experience. So we want to be able to understand um, enough from our practice to be able to catch those moments. Okay, so that, again, if you're trained enough in your meditation, your mindfulness, you will catch those moments and elevate your thoughts, elevate your impulse, if you will, up into a different part of your brain that's more rational, logical, and calm. And what we want to do as well is we really want to emphasize the importance of how vulnerability can transcend our guilt or our shame. And we're focusing in especially on guilt and shame because we feel that, again, in our experience and in our work, that's really the hard barrier to the next real part, which is overcoming sort of that resistance and embracing that shadow self that we have, that we all have, again, and so that we can make that heartfelt commitment to loving all of who we are. We've got to have the ability to be able to move through our guilt and understand that, to break down the barrier, the resistance to loving all of who we are. And so at the end, we will conclude the program really with building resilience for you for your journey forward. Okay. And that's where we will wind up with this little additional bonus. And when we say a 2-on-2, so this is where Farah and I together will have a session with you and your accountability buddy at the very end of the program. See where you might be having some challenges, or you know, just again with the intention of sending you off as resilient as possible to practice, bring this practice into your daily life. So I think that kind of concludes the walking through. Again, you can click on and find out more. You'll find out more about the bios that Farah and I have put up about ourselves. It's all
And the
here.
link will be,
Oh,
sorry, and the
sorry.
link will be at the bottom of the video. That
Oh, okay. Okay, great. Good. You look for that Eventbrite link. Let me see now. I've got to get back here. Oh, there we go. Okay. Actually, hang on a minute. I'm going to do this just a little bit differently. It's recording. Okay, so what I wanted to do as well today to leave you with a very important message, whether you join our program or not. I heartfelt my heartfelt desire for all those watching this is that you will walk away with a little bit of being able to love more or all of who you are. So on this topic, I love this saying. It says, I'm learning to love myself. It's the hardest thing I've ever done. It sounds so easy, yet it is so difficult. And you know, our brains are constantly tripping down memory lane, as I call it. And as I mentioned earlier, many of those memories have emotions attached. And what I want to do is sort of walk us through an exercise of an experience I know I have had many times and still do. And that is when a memory kind of comes out of nowhere and you almost wince and you go, oh my gosh, how could I have been so stupid? You know, and so let's just unpack that a little bit. The first thing I want to say is point out how detrimental this type of thinking is and how it undermines our mindfulness practice. So really, first of all, it's focused on the past. Something's come at us from the past. That definitely means we're not being present, you know, and mindfulness is about being present. So if your mind's in the future, or your mind's in the past, you know you're not being present. So that's one place where it definitely impedes our ability to be mindful. The next one, it's a harsh judgment on ourselves. It's not kind. This is a way where we are very unkind to ourselves. And really, in many cases, it's just from over a simple mistake. Perhaps maybe even a social faux pas. You said the wrong thing at the wrong time. Maybe even in a meeting at work, you said something that later on you go, oh, that might not have been necessary, or it led to more trouble than it was worth. You know, so we all have these experiences, but when we ruminate over them later on, and it comes with this emotional charge, it hurts us because we turn it in. And this is the last thing that I think the most harmful place is, we turn it into not only just a harsh judgment, as I mentioned, but we turn it into even further as if it's got some meaning about who we are, you know. So it's that you know, that concept of I might have behaved badly, but that doesn't necessarily mean at all that I'm a bad person, right? But this is what we end up doing when we find ourselves in these situations. So how do we overcome this type of thinking? And that's what I want to share with you. This is what I do and I've learned to do over the years. It took me a while to get here, so I'm very happy to share this with people without having to go through the years of self-reflection that I've had to do before I got to this point. So the
And I
first,
just want to say that's been life changing for me as well. And I think it's, just to add, Caroline's been doing this work for 20 plus years. And when she taught me this, honestly, it blew my mind. Like nobody's ever taught me this before. So I just want to say it's very, very powerful technique.
oh, thank you. And you're right, it has taken me a long time to get here. And if I can, and that's where I do feel, lovely in the partnership with Farah, is that we complement each other so well. And that this is an opportunity for me to share what I have learned and practiced and worked through as I've integrated these principles into my day-to-day life. So the first thing I do is I recognize, oh, there's my inner critics. I think I mentioned that a little bit before. And even when we get into a lot of the curriculum in our program, you're going to hear over and over again how the power of being mindful, or the powerful power of meditation, is building this space between our experience and our observation of the experience. So it's very, very important that you can get yourself into that observer state very quickly. So that's what I'm doing when I'm recognizing, oh, that's my inner critic. That's what that is. And then that allows me to go to the next step, which is just stop. Okay, so I recognize, oh, here's another zinger. I call it a zinger from my past. Whoosh, just shows up. And so I visualize, actually visualize a stop. I'm very visual. So I got a stop sign, just flips right up in my face, and stop. So that very powerful just to even do that. And then the next one is, I love all of who I am. I love all of who I am. I love the fact that I made that mistake. I love it. And it might be a little fake it till you make it, but just do that. And you do that you just say that over and over. I love that about myself. I love that. I love that. I love that I made that mistake. It will instantly, you will feel the emotion just start to diminish. It starts to go away. It's almost like magic. So if you don't believe me, all I can say is just try it. Just try it. And then you'll see. And then the fourth thing, once you get over and now you've brought your emotion down and you're saying, okay, I love all of who I am, then you can ask yourself, is it necessary for me to apologize? Because sometimes we have said things, unintended consequences, where they have hurt other people that we love. And so sometimes you might need to go clean that up, as I say. And when that occurs, then I have some wonderful advice for that as well. And that is, go beyond saying sorry and use the phrase, please forgive me. Now, this actually I learned from a wonderful woman, Ian Van Zandt. She's, you look her up. I love her. She's on Oprah Winfrey Network. She's all over YouTube as well. Wonderful woman, does a lot of good work, healing, healing people's, relationships and all sorts of things. Wonderful woman. So when I first heard that phrase, or I really had to hear her use it over and over again, that was a life changer for me. And I started using this whenever I needed to make amends for something that either I realized in the moment I had made a mistake, or maybe later on and through some self-reflection said, I was out of line there, and I care enough about that person. It was a big enough deal. My relationship is close enough. I need to go back and ask for their forgiveness. And it's been a game changer. But I will say, most of the time that you find yourself with one of these zingers, it's not even necessary to apologize. These are things that are usually so small, like I say, little social faux pas. They're so small, but they come back at us with a vengeance. And this is the part when you can overcome that, deal with that. this is the most powerful tool that I've ever, um, imagined, that for me to overcome those things. And that is why it is I could say it's a cornerstone. Our whole program is really built on this objective. So, here's the good news. Once you can get through this piece, or the more you get through this piece, when you're loving yourself, truly the rest will follow. There's a ton of benefits that will naturally come out of this that you don't even have to work on. It will just happen. And here's just a few of them. So it will help you sustain that more peaceful frame of mind that we're all looking for. If we're here and we're interested in meditation and mindfulness, we are seeking that peaceful frame of mind. So it will help you sustain that for much longer. It will build more resilient relationships because you will come from a stronger sense of yourself. When we love ourselves, then the need for us to seek love from others will diminish greatly. And that will change the dynamic of any relationship. It will balance the acts of giving and receiving. And I think this is a really, really, really important because, when, again, coming almost building on the previous point, when I say, if you love yourself and you're not out seeking all this love from others because you are taking care of your own need to be loved, then you're not going to get tied into some of these games that we play, which is, I will give to you in order for you to give back to me. Right? So we give, but we give with expectation. And so that's really kind of not giving. And then, because sometimes and inevitably what ends up happening is that expectation probably will not be met. And conversely, on receiving, very often when we, if we love all of who we are, we're very open to receive support from others, even if that support might look like, being critiqued at times. So again, it changes and it gives you a much more rich experience in your relationships. It will allow you to acknowledge the gifts in others more. Because again, you love all of who you are. It's not going to upset you at all to see somebody else doing something way better than you can. Because hey, you already love yourself, but you also realize you can't be good at everything. So when you recognize other people being really exceptional at things, it's easy to acknowledge that. And that works well for you. It makes you feel good. It makes that other person feel fantastic. I mean, this is, where I love to acknowledge Farah, for example, and how good she is with her guided meditations. They're so powerful. It's just one example. And something much better than I could ever do. And then ultimately, experience more joy in everyday life. And I have never heard anyone complain about having too much joy. So this is, again, when you're coming from a place of loving yourself, you just are more in love with the world and the surroundings around you, and you will be more joyful.
I have a question that often gets asked. It's about the fourth one, acknowledging the gifts in others.
Yes.
What would you recommend to somebody, if they do feel jealousy or envy, when they're having that hard time, just kind of, appreciating other people's talents and strengths, right? Because it makes them feel less than or feel like they can't do it.
Right. Well, it's okay. Great. That's a great question. So again, at that moment, being able to separate yourself and be the observer. I am feeling jealous. Oh, I notice I'm feeling jealous. Okay. Right away. That's a call for me to love myself. Right? That's a call. That's a reminder to go, okay, hang on a minute. Somewhere I've gone off the track of my commitment of loving all of who I am. So I need to, it's a reminder to go back to that place, do that as much as you can. And in fact, and then go and acknowledge the person for what they're, turn the jealousy around. What is that? Oh, you just got a new car and I don't have a new car? Boy, I really love your new car. That's great. Good for you. Right? I love using that phrase, good for you.
Mm.
And in doing that, like now you're reinforcing that message that you are all that you need to be. You're lovable just the way you are. Other people can have things, and it doesn't mean that you are less than anyone. So again, the answer, even in that moment of that, is come back to, I love all of who I am. Even the fact that I'm being jealous, because I guess I really want that new car, just like she does. Just like she's got a new car, I want a new car. I love that about myself, that I want a new car. Meanwhile, I'm going to acknowledge that it was good for her that she's got the car, and that will even again be a demonstration. That's the word I'm looking for, a demonstration that you are anchoring in this lesson of loving all of who you are.
Awesome. Thank you.
Right. I love it when you ask me questions.
Yeah, that was a very, very popular one that I was being asked a lot, and
Yeah.
I came up a
It's a
couple of times.
natural one. It's a
Yeah,
natural one.
yeah,
And I think especially as we progress through life and we see,
yeah.
there's a lot coming in from the outside world of what we should or shouldn't do, what success looks like, get married, have a family, buy a house, all these things. And that's just always there. And so as you see people progress through that at different speeds, then the jealousies, it's natural that they'll come up. The point that's got to be important is that we put that stuff outside, right? Again, what other people and what the world says what you should be doing is is not valid for each and every one of us at all. This is again another benefit to being mindful and meditating, is to understand inside us, what is it that we want. Like if you want to go off and travel the world, Farah, like you do, how does settling down and buying a house compute with that, right? And why is that necessary,
Mm-hmm.
right? So
Mm-hmm.
we've got to be true to ourselves, right? And let go of these conditions of that have been put upon, how we've been conditioned, I guess is what I'm saying, conditioned about what success is supposed to look like, right? No, we got to define our own sense of what is success for us and go from there. So I would even venture to say that the root of these jealousies is sometimes just these outside conditioning that we've
Mm-hmm.
had, as opposed to something that is truly resonating within us as something we really, really want. So on that note,
Yeah, what a powerful, I just want to say that was so powerful. And I feel like a lot of people will resonate with that, because I know, including myself, I've been through some of those challenges, right? Of my conditioning versus what I truly wanted for myself, and finding that balance within myself and being okay with not, wanting certain things. Like I'm in my 30s, I chose not to get married. I chose not to buy a house because, like you said, I wanted to travel. I wanted to experience other things in my life.
mhm,
And there's often times I know when, I still do get told from society around me, especially coming from the culture I come from, right? I'm Pakistani, my roots, and that's not very common for a Pakistani girl to go and do things like that. And so I feel like a lot of people really resonate with what you just said, and really be able to, I love that idea of just, how you can navigate that the next time that, because I've definitely been there, and you know that.
yeah, yeah, yes. Yeah, we talked about it.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Sometimes, yeah,
So
yeah, yeah.
All right. Okay. So actually, I'm gonna take you everyone through a longer guided meditation this time, and I'm actually gonna teach you a little bit. I'm gonna be affirming certain things as well in that process. And Caroline, if you don't mind passing over, oh,
Yeah,
perfect.
there
Thank
we
you
go.
very much. And give me a second here to just play the music. Awesome.
And while Farah is getting this ready, I would say to those watching the video that what you just saw there, that sort of exchange between us, that I think is the power of our partnership on display. Um, so leave it at that. If you did join the program, that's the type of thing that you will be experiencing as you join us.
Thank you for sharing that. And yes, that happens very often between us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if everyone just wants to get comfortable, and we're going to start off by closing our eyes and taking a couple of deep breaths in. So, we're going to start off by inhaling through our nose and exhale through your mouth. Take one more deep breath in through the nose and exhale out. With this last breath, I want you to just relax your body. Just relax. If you have any tension, for example, in your shoulders, your back, just release it with your exhale out, that tension. So we're going to inhale through the nose and exhale out, releasing any tension you're feeling. I want you to just continue to focus on your breath. If you do have thoughts coming up, just acknowledge them and come back to your breath. I want you to now visualize a bright white light starting at the top of your head. I want you to visualize this bright white light just moving through your head, down your eyes, your nose, your mouth, down your neck, your chest, your arms, down your abdomen, through your thighs, your legs, to the bottom of your feet. I want you to now visualize this bright white light starting at the bottom of your feet, moving through the back of your legs, through your thighs, up your glutes, through your spine, through your neck, all the way to the top of your head again. I want you to continue to visualize this bright white light moving through your body. And if you feel any sensations as this bright white light moves through your body, I just want you to observe it. This could be a tingling. This could be the feeling of heavy thoughts, tension in your shoulders, sweat. Just acknowledge all the sensations and thoughts that are coming up. And come back to your breath. You might feel some heavier emotions that you feel the need to release. If you feel to, it's safe to cry now. You can even grab a pillow or towel and just scream into it, letting out all that energy. I want you to continue to stay with your breath. I want you to repeat after me. I love all of myself. I love myself exactly as I am. I accept myself exactly as I am. I love all of who I am. I want you to take a couple of deep breaths in as you say that a couple of times. I love all of who I am. I love all of who I am. If you have any thoughts coming up, just acknowledge them and come back to your breath. I love and accept myself exactly as I am.
Love and accept myself.
Continue to take a couple of deep breaths in as you repeat that to yourself. I love myself exactly as I am. Really breathe into that. I want you to think of one thing now that you're grateful for. This could be your family. This could be your pet. This could be something great that happened in your day today. It could even be gratitude for the day being really not that great. Just want you to take a second to appreciate your life right now and something in your day. I want you to now take a second to think of someone that needs extra love today. And I want you to send them love. This could be a coworker. This could be a friend. This could be your partner. This could be a family member. I want you to just send them some love right now. I want you to now send love and healing to the entire world. If you feel like you have a little bit of extra love to give right now, I want you to send it to the world. And you could visualize yourself just standing there looking over the entire earth, just sending bright white light to it. I want you to now take a second to just forgive yourself or anyone around you that might have hurt you today. Say, please forgive me, or I forgive you. Again, this could be something that happened at work, something that happened at home. It could even be your pet. Just want you to take a second now. And you can do more than one person if you feel to. When you feel ready, I want you to slowly start opening your eyes and bringing your attention back to the present moment. Take a second to just look around. Wiggle your hands and your toes. Just look at the details that are in front of you right now, without thinking, just observing. How was that for everyone?
I had like normal, like we talked about, for me, I feel the energy gets in my throat. So that's, as you mentioned before, it's good to have a little pillow, or I use a towel, just a rolled up towel simply. And I I'm not really yelling or screaming, just letting something come out through my throat, and I find that that helps move the energy for me. So I was needing to do that as usual, and I was just really moved when you said the part of trying to send some love to someone else. I thought of my mom, and it just really moved me because you know, she needs a lot of love.
It's funny, I actually did my mom today too.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
yeah, I feel you. I feel you.
Yeah. Once again, we're aligned.
Yes.
So
Yeah.
yes, thank you. That was beautiful. And I also the vision of the loving the world. It's interesting because you've done that before, and I've had different
Mm.
ways of visualizing that. And sometimes I start from where I am and kind of go, okay, well, here I am
Set
in
out.
Westminster, and then Vancouver,
Yes.
BC, and the world, North America, and you kind of go around the whole globe. It was interesting. What happened this time is I had a vision, but my mind visualization that came forward was, the picture of the from the moon of the Earth.
Yes, that's what I
Like
got
that?
too.
Did you? Oh, for heaven's sake.
Yeah.
funny. Yeah, so that's yeah, I got that. I was like, oh, that was cool. That was cool. The blue planet, and that was like almost like it was a quicker way to get there,
Yeah.
from starting from where I am and building out, right? That was very cool.
You know what's funny? I usually do the building out, and today I felt to do it from that globe, just like us looking from the moon down at
Yes,
the earth.
yeah, yeah.
Uh, so it's so wow. Again, we're so aligned, and
Once again, exactly.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
well, we'll just go back and wrap
yeah,
up these last couple things. Oh, that's me sharing, right? That's
yeah,
what I'm doing. Yep, we're back. Thank you. So folks, this is where we get to the point where really we extend a very, very warm invitation for you to join our program. And really it comes down to asking yourself, are you ready? And asking yourself, does this approach resonate with you? And if it doesn't, that's fine. I still, as I mentioned very early in the program, if not very earlier in this video, but if not our program, then I wish for you to find the right program for you. Do something.
yes,
Again, assuming you're interested in mindfulness and meditation, you've stayed with us this far in
mhm,
the video. So we do hope that you join us. Again, a very warm invitation to come do some work with us, and certainly encouragement to, if you're not going to work with us, to please work with someone else. And these is our contact information. Farah, you could probably explain a little bit more on how they can click on things to find us.
yeah, so there is a link below for the Eventbrite page. Also, you can follow us at Be Calm Mind, where we post daily mindfulness advice. And, we really hope to see you in the 8-week program. If not now, in the future. Our next cohort is starting on October 8th, and we will be doing another one in January. So if we don't see you in October, we hope to see you in January. Thank you for joining us, and we would love to hear from you. So please comment below what you thought of the guided meditation, what you thought of the concept about loving all of who you are. We love to hear from you, and we definitely will respond. So thank you for your time.
Thank you. Have a good night.
Bye.